Alright guys, I promised to you all that I would make a video apologizing to Gameloft if at the end the Pininfarina Battista Nino Farina edition ended up being obtainable by token packs, which at the end happened when those packs appeared yesterday, a mere day after the Nino Farina Tour event appear in game. My entire reaction was an error, and I think it's time to acknowledge that as well as to talk a bit about the entire thing. As some of you might know, these last few days haven't been the easiest ones to deal with for me and my family, but you know, life must keep moving at some point, so now that I think I'm ready to make a video, I have to admit that this one is the right one to upload right now. So let's get into it. Well, I will be honest, some things led me to think that both the Pininfarina Nino Farina edition and the new Rimac Nevera Time Attack would exclusively appear through real money or in-game purchases, and those beliefs were reinforced by the fact that both cards were introduced in a surprise mini update, which was not even more than a complement of the already ongoing patch notes plan, which was released 2 months ago. At the end, Gameloft released the Pininfarina Nino Farina edition packs by 75 tokens each, as you will see, making it available to everyone willing to spend on this card. I started opening packs right after claiming the 15 free blueprints you could obtain from its associated time-limited events, which, by the way, I would like to clear out that those events are not an Unleash, but instead a tour, which means that you don't have the same rewards as an usual Unleash, for example, and being completely honest, it took me a while to lock this card from packs, since the first drops were quite bad. I think I got like just one jackpot, despite I spent like 31,000 tokens in order to obtain the remaining 250 blueprints required to max this card. It's not precisely cheap, and I would not recommend you to spend on this card given the performance it has, but well, if you have a ton of tokens, it's another card you can add to your garage as part of your collection. The thing is that I made a mistake and I judged way too fast based on something that ended up just not happening, and I honestly doubt that what I said had any effect on the game, since well, only a small percentage of the total player base of Asphalt Legends Unite is present in social media, but still I have to acknowledge the responsibility of my error, and despite I'm sure that Asphalt or Gameloft won't give this too much importance, if they want me to take down the first video I uploaded talking about the possibility of both these new cards being released only through in-game purchases, I'm completely willing to do it if they prefer that video to not to be around anymore, if they let me know they want to do so. The damage is done, if you can call it that way, so it makes sense to correct it if Gameloft is interested. The mistake was exclusively mine, and I would like to apologize to all of you guys as well, because this time I missed a shot, and well, on the bright side, the card is available by tokens, so that's a good news for everyone interested in going for it. Oh, and by the way, the Rimac Nevera Time Attack has not been released yet, but so far we know that it will be a key card available on the Black Friday Season Legends Pass. Theoretically, an event should start 3 days after the Black Friday season begins. This is around November 23rd or something like that, and in that event I'm not sure if the key will appear or if we will get the chance to get only blueprints of the card. About this card, I have to admit that I'm far less worried, since assuming that the chance to lock the card arrives through a Legends Pass, I do really think that packs will arrive featuring the blueprints, and well, I would like to say that the Rimac Nevera Time Attack is not that good really. The normal Rimac Nevera is far better in most aspects, so if you don't have too many S-Class cards, you could try and unlock the Rimac Nevera Time Attack. This is assuming that the Legends Pass tasks are not blocked behind star requirements or something like this. It's maybe too early to tell anyways, so we will have to wait and see, as usual. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, and in case any of you guys were wondering how good this Pininfarina Battista Nino Farina edition is compared to similar cards around this rank, well, it's quite fast, but the Nitro is significantly weaker than other cards like, let's say, the Banda Electric's Dendrobium, which is 14 km per hour slower if you count the Nitro boost, but it has a quite solid acceleration despite not beating the Nino Farina here. Also, the Banda still has better handling, drift radius and Nitro efficiency, so in general this new Pininfarina Nino Farina is not a good card to go for if you are looking for something around this rank on A-Class. I will definitely pick the Banda over this card anytime, because a bit faster top speed doesn't help you that much when comparing the Nino Farina with the Banda Electric's Dendrobium, and that's all what you need to know about it. The first stats that were given about this Nino Farina back on the mini update season patch notes would have made this one of the most OP cards you could get in A-Class, but as most of you guys already know, that was an error, and well, now we have this Nino Farina that is not really useful aside from the fact that it might be required in upcoming special events, and in that case, having it maxed out will certainly benefit me, but that's really it. Some people say that this Pininfarina Nino Farina edition could be a required card on the next Drive Syndicate event, which will arrive around December this year or January 2025, but I don't think this will be a possibility, and I will explain why. Okay, so you see, in basically all the Drive Syndicate events we have had so far since this game was launched, these events included 3 new cards inside of them which you had to upgrade and start up in order to obtain the final reward. The first card is always a new card, either if it's from D or C class, and then you will need a couple of cards that were already within the game before the Drive Syndicate arrived, and then on A class a new card is introduced every time a new Drive Syndicate update arrives, and the first chance of obtaining that card is by spending real money within the Drive Syndicate. It happened with the Peugeot 9X8, the Aston Martin DBS Zagato, and the Nobel M600, just to name a few. And after the A-Class Drive Syndicate stage, you will need a S-Class card that already was within the game before the Drive Syndicate. And then, and only then, you can unlock the final stage where you will need the last new card you will need on a Drive Syndicate, the main Drive Syndicate card, which will be lent to you until you unlock it. So in a nutshell, a normal Drive Syndicate requires you to upgrade a new D or C, A and S-Class card. That's why I don't think the Pininfarina Nino Farina edition will be required, because it's an A-Class card, and if it ends up as a required card within the next Drive Syndicate, it could mean that either the Syndicate itself asks for a new S-Class card on the following stage, different from the main Drive Syndicate card, or the penultimate stage, which will be fairly expensive, considering how the S-Class cards need more resources than an A-Class one in order to be upgraded and start up and that stuff. So you see, if there is something 100% guaranteed, is that only the Asphalt Legends Unite developers truly know which cards will be required on the Drive Syndicate 10, coming late this year or early the next one, and they could literally show us something never seen before by then. Either way, I hope that the next Drive Syndicate ends up being a bit cheaper, since that way more people could be interested into spending some money. Obviously, I already told you guys that I might not max the main Drive Syndicate card, but if the event itself has some interesting tweaks, I could spend more than I'm initially planning to. Only time will tell. I don't even know if Gameloft will even watch this video up to this point, but I would like to point out that the hacker I mentioned on my last video is still roaming free on the game despite of being reported through all the possible channels. I would like to point this out since this player is still running other clean player races, and I won't stop until he gets what he deserves. That was pretty much all what I wanted to share with you all guys. Sorry for all the inconveniences, and I hope that this helps you to clear any doubts you could have had with this Automobili Pininfarina Nino Farina edition. Thank you so much for watching, make sure to drop your like and subscribe in order to not miss absolutely anything about Asphalt Legends Unite. Goodbye guys.